Hey there, my name is Beth Jeffrey from My Tutoring Bee, and this is a quick explanation of how to play Angle Wars. So I'm going to show you a full game, a two-player game today, but just really quickly, let me show you a little bit of the setup that you'll need. What you'll need is a game board, and there are different versions of this depending on how many players you have and if you want to do a fast play. Today I'm just going to use the original two-player game. You need color pencils or markers, one color for each player. You need a pencil, just a regular pencil. You need a protractor, and you need 10-sided dice. Now you only need two 10-sided dice, but I have a couple different versions that I'll show you of what you can use. So some 10-sided dice just have single digits like this one, and it goes from 0 to 9. Some will have actually from 1 to 10 on there. I have a set of those dice that we're going to use for the gameplay today, so I'll show you what that looks like. And then there's also dice with two-digit numbers. So again, these are still 10-sided, but it goes from 00 to 90. And so when I'm playing this game with students, I just roll both of these, the 2-digit and the 1-digit, and add them together. And then that is the angle that you would use for your turn. If you just have single digit dice like these, then you would just determine which die is going to be the tens place and which one's going to be the ones place. So we would just, say ahead of time the green is going to be the tens place and the red's going to be the ones place, whatever you have. So just look at your dice before starting and, decide what your rules are going to be as far as what numbers you have on your dice. So the very, very basic instructions for this game is any player who gets at least 350 degrees but no more than 360 degrees wins. And like I said, I'm going to play through a full game so you'll see exactly what that looks like, how that goes. So let's get started. I'm actually doing my game digitally. So here I have my game board. I just have it tilted on its side, but the gameplay is still the same as on this game board. And as you can see, I have my dice in my Google Dice Roller. So I actually just went to Google and typed in dice roller and and then chose two 10-sided die right here. So as you can see, one of the dice has a 10 on it. So for the purposes of this game, we're just going to count anytime we see a 10 as a 0. And this first die is going to be my tens place, and the second die is going to be my ones place. So it'll be really easy to read that number. And so you just click roll, and as you can see, it rolls the dice. So this would be a roll of 68. And if I rolled again, this would be a roll of 25. Okay, so let's play. Over here, we're going to start with the first player. I'm going to have the first player be purple, and I have my little protractor here that I can move around. So I'm going to actually just show you the first couple of turns, then I'm going to speed it up and play through until we get to the end of the game when we see our winning conditions. So our winning conditions, again, are anywhere between 350 and 360 degrees. So let's have purple go first. So purple is going to roll. They got a roll of 94. So we're going to just mark on here. We're going to line our protractor up with that starting line in our circle and find 94. So it'll be right here. We can see here's 90, here's 100. So right in between is 95, one less than that, 94. Now when you're playing on paper and you'd want to turn your protractor so that you can use that edge as a straight edge. Because I'm doing this on screen, I actually don't need a straight edge. I have a tool that allows me to just do a straight line. So I'm going to draw that line out to my mark, color this in, and I'm just going to do some lines through here. And then in my workspace, I want to be sure to record that 94 degrees. And what this workspace is going to do is allow me to keep track. So we'll have a visual track of what our angles look like in the circles, and then we'll have a numerical track up here in our workspace. Okay, so let's move on to Pink's turn. So they got an angle of 53. So let me reset my protractor here to line up with my baseline. And then I'm going to mark 53. So that's about right here. And then again, I'm going to move my protractor out of the way, draw my straight line, color in that angle that I just drew, and then record my 53 in my workspace. So this continues. We're going to do purple's turn next. Purple is going to line up their protractor with that last line that they just drew. So we're going to just line it up there. Okay, now purple got a 23, so we're going to mark 23 from this line. So it's kind of like we're starting over again and we're just adding 23 to the 94. So we're going to mark 23 and then move our protractor out of the way, draw a straight line, color it in, and now we're going to add that 23, and now we have a total of 117 degrees. So we're just adding on these angles to one another. So now it's pink's turn, and we're going to line this up with the last angle that was drawn in the last turn. There we go. Okay, so pink rolled a 12, so we're going to mark 12 on our protractor. So you want to make that little mark on the outside edge and then move your protractor and line it up so that you get that straight line between the center of your circle and the line that you just drew. And mark through. And then we're going to add in 12. Okay, so you can see what the turns look like. I'm going to speed it up here and fill in both of these players' turns. I'm playing as two different players in this scenario, so I'm going to speed it up so you can see what it looks like, and then we'll slow down at the end so that I can show you what it takes to win this game. Okay. Okay, so as we can see, purple and pink, their scores are pretty close, but now it was just purple's turn, and purple rolled a 72. And if we added 72 to this, this would be way more than 360. So purple actually loses their turn, and now it's pink's turn again because purple has too much. So you have to get exactly between 350 and 360 degrees in order to win. If you roll over that, once you get into these smaller spaces, then you have to wait until your next turn to try again. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Okay, so we can see here that purple has rolled a 12, very close to being a full circle once we get that recorded on here. And as you can see, it's a little my drawing is a little bit off, but that's okay. That's why we have the workspace, and you want to record your work in the workspace up above because this is so close that I've actually overlapped on my circle, but that's okay because we know that this is really 355 degrees total, and so that is the winning condition. They've gotten at least 350 and not over 360, so purple wins. Okay, so let me show you just a quick version of a fast play. We're not going to play through the whole game, but this is what the fast play looks like. You just have one circle and one workspace, and both players, or if you have 3 players, then all 3 players are going to play on this circle. But it's all the same conditions, so you still roll. So if the first player is purple, and then they get a 41, you're still going to mark that on your game board, just like you did in the other game. Be sure to record your work. And then the next player that goes, so if, in this case, if it's pink, they're going to roll. They got a 47, and they're going to add their angle right onto the same circle. So then you would add on your 47 degrees here. So you can see why this version of the game is going to go a lot faster, because you're going to fill in that circle faster. However, the winning condition still applies. Once you get all the way around, whoever that last person is to fill in that last angle that reaches a total of between 350 and 360 would be the winner in this case. So that is how you play Angle Wars. I hope that you enjoy this game and have fun learning how to measure and draw angles.